Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Good morning, American. It's Friday.
Welcome to it. Thanks for joining us. Lot going on, of course. The unbelievable I just sat in, just stunned yesterday. Stunned, even though we all worried it was coming.
I know.
Even though we said, you know what, they're probably going to find him guilty anyway. They don't have a shred of evidence. They presented nothing to prove their case. And he was guilty on all 34 counts.
All 34 counts.
34 counts. That's incredible.
That is definitely incredible. And we can go through all that. But how long before President Biden says, I'm not going to debate a felon?
Probably 15 minutes. You know, that does give him an out.
It sure does.
I could absolutely see him doing that for certain.
I'm not going to debate a felon, and RFK is he's not worthy of my time.
Right.
He's not even a blip on the radar. So
yep. Even his own family wants me to win.
Correct.
So, yeah, there may not be debates. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. But guilty on all 34 charges. First felony conviction ever for a former/future president. So, will he go to jail now? That's what remains to be seen. Sentencing is July 11th.
Huh. July 11th. That's
July
an interesting
11th.
date.
Yeah.
Isn't that, when is the convention again?
I don't know right offhand.
Starts on the 14th, I believe.
Is it the 14th?
I think so.
The Republican convention is the 14th?
I think it's the 14th.
Wow. Okay. So far, this judge has shown zero interest in fairness or doing the right thing.
There's no doubt about that.
So I'm afraid he's going to give him jail time. I mean, usually in something like this, in a trial and a conviction for fraudulently falsifying business records, there's no jail time. They almost never get jail time. So what do you want to bet he does?
Definite jail time. Yes.
Man,
if we get that far, right? Isn't there? I mean, I don't know the entire process, but will we have an appeal? Can we have a fast track?
I'm sure there's got to be an appeal.
Can we have a fast track to the Supreme Court ruling on this? I mean, I don't know.
Something. I mean, you can't just let that lay.
No, you can't.
Right? It was such a sham of a trial, and virtually every reasonable, non-biased expert said so.
Correct.
Everybody I ever heard who you might respect, except for, just hardcore Democrats who just hate Donald Trump, hate everything about him, hate his family, hate his presidency, hate his policies.
We don't know what he's guilty of, but he's guilty of something.
Yeah, and
we
so
hate him.
They're the only ones that said, there's overwhelming evidence.
Yeah.
Overwhelming evidence? Wait, show that to me, because I'd love to see it.
That's what, I mean, we talked about it the other day, is that's what was concerning me, is that what we all saw was different from what the jury was.
No question about it. Yeah, and we were afraid that was going to happen.
Yes.
I was still stunned that it did.
Me too.
I was still stunned it did. When you even sensed it was going to come, but when it actually did, it was still stunning.
Yes, it was.
I kept expecting, okay, you know what?
Common sense is going
to kick in here somewhere along the way. You got 12 jurors. Somebody's got to say, this is garbage. Stop it. Use your noodle, people. Nope. No. Didn't happen.
And I'll give you some dates. The judge requested both sides to file their motions. That includes sentencing recommendations by June 13.
All right. So about 2 weeks.
Yep. And then, according to this, the appeal process first is to go to the New York Appellate Division, and then it will go to the highest court of New York, and then
And then the Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court.
They take it further.
But according to them, they have a really tough time because they have to make sure that it's a federal or a constitutional matter in order for the Supreme Court to hear it. So that's kind of like according to the Blaze.com, what happens next is like that's the hurdle that they have to come up like, is it constitutional?
Right. Well,
okay.
I mean, they didn't even narrow down what the charge is. What's the secondary charge that you convicted him on? They didn't even specify that. When they convicted him, they didn't specify it.
Now, I was under the impression that that's something that was part of the Constitution. Speaking of constitutional, that you have to know.
I know. So maybe
you are
that you're charged
with.
Maybe that's how they get it to the Supreme Court. I don't know. I don't know. But then on top of all of this, you've got this former Apprentice producer Butthhook, who's babbling about the fact he said the N-word. He said the N-word. Did he? Yeah, there's tapes. Okay, let's hear it. Otherwise, shut up. Let's hear it. Prove it. Prove that he said the N-word during the Apprentice taping, and then you can open your mouth and make these claims. If fine. Not,
let's say he
shut
did.
up.
Let's say
even if
he did.
Yeah.
Is that a crime?
No, it's not. No, it's not. Is it a reason not to elect him president? I don't know. I don't know.
Well, anything.
I mean, come on.
The hatred for him is the reason that they say they don't.
I mean, he claims that word has never been part of his vocabulary. I don't know. Well, I don't know if I believe that, but
I don't know that it. Is it part of your vocabulary? No. I mean, we all can say that. Have we said it? Well, yes. For me, of course.
Wow, what an admission! Jeff Fisher just admitted it. Oh, by the way, Keith is having some issues this morning, so he's not here. He's got kidney stones again.
Oh. I thought you were going another direction.
No. I thought he was too.
No, I
thought for sure.
It's too late now.
Got 8,000 bee stings.
Too late. I didn't start the show that way, so I just let it go. But thank you for bringing it back up again, Keith. The fact that you're a little bloated this morning.
The kidney stones are really inflated.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. That looks painful.
It does. It really does.
Doesn't it?
It does look painful.
I mean, you talk about inflammation of every part of your body.
Have you heard of relief factor?
Yeah, so you know how painful kidney stones get. Have you ever had kidney stones?
No.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Oof, man.
I guess you can speak from experience.
I can speak from experience. Yes. Yeah. I've had kidney stones and the kidney shut down completely because of diabetes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. A year and a half ago or whatever that was.
Oh, that's when you were out for a minute.
Yeah. And so, painful. Does not feel good. I can guarantee you that. So thoughts and prayers with Keith this morning. I'm sure he's going to be fine and back on Monday. But for today, he was in the emergency room earlier. But he made it to the...
He made it. Inflamed and all.
He's just a little bloated. That's all.
Well, anything for the show.
Right. Congratulations.
For the show.
Thanks for being here. But this is interesting because I think we've been down this road of he said the N-word on tape on The Apprentice before.
Yeah.
And Mark Burnett said no. Right? The producer of the show, the executive producer, Mark Burnett, said that's not true. There's no tapes. He said, Donald Trump said, Mark Burnett, called to say there are no tapes of The Apprentice where I used such a terrible and disgusting word as attributed. This was when Omarosa was saying it. Attributed by wacky and deranged Omarosa. I don't have that word in my vocabulary, never have. She made it up. Look at her many recent quotes saying such wonderful and powerful things about me. A true champion of civil rights until she got fired. Omarosa had zero credibility with the media. They didn't want her interviews when she worked in the White House. Now that she says bad things about me, they will talk to her. Fake news. So that's what he said. That was back in 2018. So he said back then that Mark Burnett told him there were no tapes. And if there are tapes, you would think we would have heard that by now.
Heard them by now.
Without
There's
question.
No way someone has those tapes.
And they don't surface.
They don't surface. There's no way.
Absolutely not. There's absolutely no way at all. So if you don't have the tapes, shut up about it. But it's pathetic. They won't. They'll act as if this is absolute fact.
Oh yeah.
And they'll continue to accuse him of it.
I guess the tapes weren't rolling when I heard him say that.
Or Mark Burnett is hiding it from the rest of us, or who knows what excuse they'll use. Yeah. But I don't buy it. If we haven't heard them by now, they don't exist.
No way.
Meanwhile, the Biden campaign proclaimed yesterday after this, no one is above the law. Right. Yeah. That's what they said. It is funny, right? It's funny that they would say no one is above the law.
Sure
no one
is.
but Joe Robinette Biden and his stupid criminal son Hunter. All the influence cash for China and Ukraine, not to mention the cadaver-in-chief has been bragging about being above the law and above our system, ignoring the Supreme Court rulings on student loan debt forgiveness over and over again. But nobody's above the law. It is. It's ridiculous. It's funny. Laughable.
Well, they weren't the only ones celebrating the Trump conviction. I'll tell you that. MSNBC was celebrating that Trump conviction.
We've been holding our breath as a country for a long time, waiting for the cavalry to arrive in the form of the rule of law. And it did arrive today, and it's a majestic day. And we are rightly saying the system worked like clockwork, and the jury was diligent and attentive, and the judge was firm and gentle. All those things are right, but their abilities to do that while hailstorms in the form of Trump and his supporters railed on all sides of them was precisely because the judge is cloaked in a robe, which is to say the rule of law. His authority was not simply his personality or charisma. It was the system that he embodied, and that at least in that room, and that's the agreement we've made as a country, would in fact prevail, did in fact prevail. Donald Trump is a different person now. He's a convict. He's not innocent until presumed guilty. He is guilty. He will get bail, it's true, but he's in a whole different status in society, in the legal system, in the rule of law. That's not only fitting, but a kind of miracle is too strong a word, but a really a day for celebration just because of the work like clockwork of the system powered by not the personalities, but the law.
Oh, my God.
I mean, that's all you could do is laugh at him, because otherwise my eyes would be just shooting blood right now. It's too enraging. And to listen to these buffoons like that guy, it's unbelievable. I don't even know who that guy is. Do you know any idea who he is?
No, I do.
I don't think I've ever seen him before on MSNBC or anywhere else.
I don't know that people were actually laughing when MSNBC called the Trump trial fair. I guess we can play that video and see if someone were laughing.
All right.
And I think it should not be minimized that this trial was fair, that Judge Merchan sometimes objected on the part of the defense, particularly during Stormy Daniels' testimony, and then sustained his own objections, however that works, that weren't made by the defense. But to Rachel's point about fairness, that was clearly the ethos that this judge brought to this courtroom.
That was a fair trial?
Was it?
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. It is laughable. It's just laughable. It's not even worth getting pissed off about because it's so outrageous.
And there's no doubt
so
about
ridiculous.
Did we ever hear from Hillary Clinton on the Donald Trump verdict? Because if we did, I missed it.
Thank you.
Oh, good. She's got the vital voices.
Thank you so much. Anything going on today?
Not that I can think of, Hillary. Yeah. Lock her up. Lock her up.
Criminals, all. And they all are just happy as little larks. Oh.
Yeah.
That is maddening.
Oh, my gosh. I can't even see straight. It's just so aggravating. All right, let me tell you about Blaze merchandise. If you like this show, you're going to love the merchandise we have from the show. Go to shopblazemedia.com today, and you can check out everything from the I'm cold, it's cold sweaters and T-shirts to our Pat Gray hats and beanies, the throwback Glenn and Pat T-shirts, and lots more. And there's all the other Blaze Media merchandise right there at your fingertips as well. Everything from the Blaze Heritage and Blaze Media collections. Jackets, T-shirts, hoodies, socks, mugs. I mean, there's so much. You just can't mention it all. Go to Shop Blaze Media today. Check out my merchandise as well as everything else available from Blaze Media. And be sure you use my promo code PAT10 to get 10% off your entire order. ShopBlazeMedia.com, promo code PAT10 to get 10% off today.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
So, Donald Trump had a couple of things to say about the verdict. Here's one of those things, speaking of the verdict and when the real verdict will happen.
And I thought the president's tone was perfect.
Oh.
He was angry. Oh. He said it was rigged.
Perhaps
and we all know it was
Trump
rigged.
himself.
We all know he can't get a fair trial here. But the key point was that the real verdict is on November 5th, when not 12 men and women
Trump said that
get to decide.
Yeah, he did.
330 million men and women get to decide. And that is the key. So get out there and vote.
We could do.
It was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here. Mm-hmm. You have a Soros-backed DA. And the whole thing, we didn't do a thing wrong. I'm a very innocent man, and it's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Our whole country is being rigged right now. This was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent. And I think it's just a disgrace. And we'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end, and we'll win, because our country's gone to hell. We don't have the same country anymore. We have a divided mess. We're a nation in decline, serious decline. Millions and millions of people pouring into our country right now from prisons and from mental institutions, terrorists, and they're taking over our country. We have a country that's in big trouble. But this was a rigged decision right from day one with a conflicted judge who should have never been allowed to try this case, never. And we will fight for our Constitution. This is long from over. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep. I mean, said a mouthful there.
There's no doubt about that. And speaking of, the corrupt Soros DA, I see where Alvin Bragg, of course, had to run his face yesterday. At first, he wanted to thank the jury.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening. First and foremost, I want to thank the jury for its service. Jurors perform a fundamental civic duty. Their service is literally the cornerstone of our judicial system. We should all be thankful for the careful attention that this jury paid to the evidence and the law.
Unbelievable.
And their time and commitment over these past several weeks. 12 everyday New Yorkers.
Okay, we got it.
And of course, our alternates heard testimony from 22 witnesses, including former and current employees
all
of the
them.
defendant,
virtually all of them,
media executives, book publishers,
Michael Cohen, lying sack of crap,
custodians of records, and others. They reviewed call logs, text messages, and emails.
Right.
They heard recordings.
Carefully.
They
Carefully went over it. Every inch, every word, they went over it carefully with a fine-tooth comb, and came back with 34 counts of guilty. Oh, okay. All right.
Now, he went on to say that he did his job, and I don't know if the crowd was laughing at him at that time or not, but we can see if the crowd was laughing at him when he talked about doing his job.
Out in February, you decided not to bring a case against Donald Trump. You criticized then. You criticized when you indicted him in March 2023. You criticized when people really started to understand that case. How do you think of all that now, seeing the results of that? Can you kind of put that in context of your personal history from this week?
I did my job. Our job is to follow the facts and the law without fear or favor.
That was a crowd pleaser.
And that's exactly what we did here. And what I feel
There's a lot of stand-up comedy going on yesterday.
Phenomenal public servants who do that each and every day in matters that you all write about and make the press, and in lots of matters that you don't. I did my job. We did our job. Many voices out there. The only voice that matters is the voice of the jury. Okay. And the jury has spoken.
Yeah. Congratulations. Really good stuff. Really funny stuff there. Good for you, Alvin.
I don't know what this next clip with Alvin is. Alvin Bragg leaves press, so they must have laughed him right out of the room.
No, they might have.
But we now have a federal court decision ruling on the legal theories. We had a state court decision on the omnibus motions. But most importantly, today we have the most important voice of all, and that's the voice of the jurors. They have spoken. Donald J. Trump has been convicted of 34 counts of falsifying business records. Thank you.
He continues to slay him. He did a great job there. He killed. That was a killer set right there.
Any comment on that?
We'll come back for an encore, maybe, today.
Watch for 3 more shows later on today. 12:30, 2 o'clock, and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So,
is it still a 2-drink minimum?
Yeah, 2-drink minimum.
Okay.
Yeah. With a slight, there's a cover charge and a 2-drink minimum. Because, you don't get comedy like that.
No,
that is true. That is true.
For free. You know what I mean?
Don't even think about not tipping.
Don't even think about it.
Hold up. So cover charge,
2-drink minimum,
and
tips.
tipping.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I know you have a problem with tipping. So
I do.
You're going to have to suck it up, Buttercup.
You're going to have to. Otherwise, you're out.
Incredible. What an incredible day that was. It just, again, we saw it coming, but
I know.
I don't know. When it came, it still
feels different.
Shocked.
I know.
I just hoped, I guess, for better than that. I just hoped they'd see through the smoke screen, the politics of it, the fact that there was no evidence presented, the fact that Michael Cohen was a lying sack of crap, and everybody knows it. And we don't even know what the charge was that made this a felony. What's the charge? How do you find him guilty when you don't even know what the stinking charge is? It's bizarre.
And
it's
if there was anything wrong, the statute of limitations were long gone.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, they had to change that.
Course. That's of course
incredible.
Of course. Did I see on here where President Biden? Did he comment? I don't remember hearing President Biden comment about it.
All right, Peter, so we heard that the president was going to say something tonight, and then he backtracked. What happened?
He wasn't medicated.
Good question, Jesse. The White House gave us a lid at 9:53 this morning, and they never lifted it. President Biden remains in Rehoboth Beach with his family, but somebody in Wilmington with access to the email list sent out a text, a fundraising text to every number that they had, and part of it said, despite a jury finding Donald Trump guilty today, there is still only one way to keep Donald Trump out of the Oval Office, at the ballot box. And then they go on, if you have been waiting for the perfect time to make your first donation to Joe Biden's re-election campaign, we're here to tell you today is the day.
Yeah, no.
Good luck with that. I mean, Trump's campaign site crashed.
Yeah, from
yesterday.
people trying to contribute. Yeah.
Right? I mean, we had, there was, I think Chris sent a picture in from the website. But anyway, I mean, his site was down with so many people logging onto.
You can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, how hard hit that was yesterday. That was probably a huge fundraising day for him. RFK said this will backfire in November. Hope he's right about that.
I do too.
I hope he's right. Also, Tulsi Gabbard had an interesting tweet that she sent out, that she posted yesterday about Joe Biden guilty of abuse of power. Biden guilty of turning our country into a banana republic where those in power use the law to go after their political opponents. Biden guilty of undermining our Constitution and the freedoms guaranteed therein. Biden has proven he is unfit for the office of the presidency.
I think we
That's
have her
from Tulsi Gabbard.
I think we have her actually saying it too.
All right.
Tulsi Gabbard joins me now. So you just heard Peter Doocy say the White House, the campaign's fundraising
all over it.
off of Democrats, convicting their rival. Fundraising, Tulsi.
We just have this.
Yeah, so much for the rule of law, Jesse. I think this is adding insult to injury to the seriousness of what the Biden-Harris administration, the Democrat elite are doing to destroy our country, to destroy our democracy, to undermine the rule of law. And my hope is that people who are watching this, the American people who are watching this, are understanding that this is a very serious wake-up call, that the consequences of this extend far beyond this case, this verdict, even Donald Trump. President Biden is guilty of turning our country into a banana republic. What does that mean for you and me and every American? That means we have to now think twice before challenging or opposing or criticizing the political party that's in power without being concerned about how they may now use the levers of the Department of Justice and law enforcement to then come after us. That's the serious issue that's at stake here. And the only way that we save our democracy and stop and reverse the damage that's already been done is when every single one of us as Americans, Democrats, Republicans, independents, libertarians, we take it upon ourselves to choose freedom, to save our country, save our democracy, and punish President Biden and his administration, those who are abusing their power on November 5th, and vote for Donald Trump.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, good stuff, except for the democracy stuff. Okay? We're not a democracy. Wish people could get that
Jesse
through their
let her
heads.
get away with it too. I don't get it.
Yeah, she knows better.
Smarter than that.
Come on. Yeah, Jesse knows better.
And
she knows better. Yeah. Come on, they're smarter than that. If they're smart enough to figure out that this was a political prosecution and persecution of a political opponent, they're smart enough to figure out we're not a democracy.
Hey, you know, we've flooded the country with third world immigrants, and I guess we're becoming a third world country.
Yep, it's for sure. It's really true. You know, we are becoming a banana republic, and we see the evidence of that every single day.
Sure do.
It's really incredible. Tulsi Gabbard, by the way, has come a long way too.
She has.
She not? I mean, geez. From supporting Bernie Sanders a few years ago to showing up on Fox News.
As a Fox News contributor. Is everyone they have on Fox now a contributor, though? I was thinking about this. I think they changed that where all their guests have to be contributors.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
Unless you're, it's
I didn't see that
news story. But I'm not. It's just weird that she's
possible
a contributor.
Possible. I mean, if she is, she's making good money doing that. She's making 7 figures doing that.
Wow.
And it seems to me I did see where she became a contributor, right?
Well, that's what it said on the screen.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It did say that. I didn't even notice that. Did she get rid of the little skunk part of their hair?
It's still there.
It's still there. It's just more subtle. It's more subtle, though.
Still there.
Right?
That's it.
All right.
Gray Unleashed.
That's some tweets here. Jeffy's family of gases tweets, good job getting back to work, Jeffy. Didn't realize a kidney stone, actually, this for Keith. Didn't realize a kidney stone caused that much bloating.
Well, now you do.
Yeah, now we know.
Now you do. Jeffy's family of gases.
PSYOP plant tweets, the precedent has now been set. When Trump gets elected, there will be carnage. Is that revenge carnage?
I mean,
you going to go after his opponents? I don't know. Hope not.
He needs to clean the swamp.
Yeah.
He needs to go in and just clean that up. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you have to shut it down and then start again. I'm okay with that, too.
Mm-hmm. Just an old guy with a mic. I have never been so ashamed of my country and the justice system. Welcome to Venezuela North. James Kirkman. Someone needs to ask Bragg what underlying crime Trump has been convicted of. These charges depended on the cover-up of an underlying crime. Right. None of which he's been convicted of.
No kidding.
From Conservatarian Lady, the Trump jury was as bad as the OJ jury. They saw the politics. They convicted Trump for the same reason the jury found OJ innocent, their power to offer their own justice. Lumbee IT Department, Pat, the crime is Trump is a Republican. This isn't confusing. It's literally illegal to be on the right now. That's what this means. Feels that way, doesn't it?
It does, but this is more just hatred of Trump.
Yeah.
Than Republicans. But
both.
Yeah.
But there's both. Timothy Lanham, yesterday was an incredibly bad day for our republic. To quote old man Biden, no joke. No joke. That's for sure. All right. Here is Jeffy with the Fat Five.
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about balloon warfare that's going on in the Koreas. North Korea sending balloons bearing trash and poop over the border.
Oh,
they've sent at least 260 balloons carrying garbage and animal excrement into neighboring South Korea. Now, originally I thought they're putting poop in the balloon, but the balloons are just carrying the bags full of trash and excrement and landing it in South Korea. Their retaliation for an earlier balloon barrage sent in the other direction by South Korea. South Korean activists carrying anti-regime leaflets and K-pop music. I don't really blame North Korea for fighting back. You start sending K-pop music into my yard, I'm dropping balloons of dog poop in your yard, too.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Heads up in South Korea. Could be some more North Korean balloons coming your way. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to my daily show, Chewing the Fat, available wherever you listen to your podcast. Chewing the Fat with Jeff Fisher. Subscribe and enjoy. Scottie Scheffler, number one golfer in the world, had all the charges against him dropped. I know you mentioned that. He had the felony. He had been charged with the felony, second-degree assault of a police officer, lesser charges on the third-degree criminal mischief, reckless driving, disregarding signals from an officer directing traffic. Those all went away. County Attorney Michael Connell said Wednesday in court, based on the totality of the evidence, my office cannot move forward in the prosecution of the charges filed against Mr. Scheffler. Mr. Scheffler's characterization of this was, quote, a big misunderstanding, close quote. It's corroborated by the evidence. Yeah, no kidding. This may be my favorite clip of the week, though. Scottie Scheffler's attorney at his press conference after the charges were dropped, a reporter asked him about the claim, why Scheffler originally agreed. They released a video, a 3-minute video of a conversation a police officer was having with Scottie Scheffler after he was handcuffed and put in the back of the police car. This is what this reporter is referring to when talking to Scheffler's attorney.
Steve, I have to ask you, though, the statements that Scottie made after the arrest don't seem to fully align with what you're saying right now. He admits that he got impatient and went too far.
No, here's what happened, is he is being interrogated after the most stressful situation of his life.
I don't know about that.
Right? And the officer is actually asking him leading questions and trying to get him to agree with them. Okay? And that's why you don't talk to the police, because they are going to try to put words in your mouth.
Amen.
And that's exactly what they did.
But that was after he read his Miranda rights.
Of course. He didn't have to speak. But again, he asked to talk to the officer. He wanted to explain to him what happened. However, they are trying to get him to confess to something that he didn't do. And the video evidence shows he didn't do it.
Right. Mm-hmm. And back to blue. Speaking of back to blue, and just when you think it's all over and everyone wants it to just go away, we get this statement from Detective Brian Gillis, the arresting officer. You see now why he did what he did. I know, back to blue, but he released a statement saying the tragic incident occurred and the family of Mr. Mills remains in my family's thoughts and prayers. So he leads with that. Mm-hmm. It leads with the family of Mr. Mills.
Somebody died in that accident.
That's why they were there. Yeah, that's why they were there. Mm-hmm. This was a chaotic situation for everyone involved. Ensuring the safety of everyone in the vicinity was my utmost priority. Was it? Mr. Scheffler and I both agree that there'll be no ill will over this going forward. Instead of giving a negative public reaction, he chose to speak with dignity, humility, and respect. My family and I appreciate that. Do you? It was unfortunate and disturbing to hear Steve Romines, the attorney, commentary today claiming that a false arrest was made and for him to challenge my honesty and integrity. I'd be surprised and disappointed if Mr. Scheffler actually had any part in making those statements. To be clear, I was drugged by the car. I went to the ground and I received visible injuries to my knees and wrist. Well, the video evidence doesn't show that, sir. I'm going to recover from it. I'll be okay, though. This is the extent of my commentary on the incident. The reality is that there are more important things in the world right now than the back and forth over this.
He makes it sound like Scheffler ran over him and dragged him down the street.
Correct.
That's not what happened.
That's not what happened at all. At the end of the day, I take pride in working for the people in the community to preserve their safety. I've spent 2 decades trying to protect this city through some challenging times. Yeah, that's why you have to have your body cam on all the time. Because those challenging times were police officers just shooting innocent victims. He didn't say that. And I would like to keep doing so without the distractions caused by this series of events. Then why don't you just shut up? What are we doing? Why are we releasing this statement? I wish Scottie Scheffler and his family all the best. Do you? But he said sincerely and signed his name. Oh, P.S.
I was going to say, please read the P.S. because I love that part.
Yes, the department has us buying freaking $80 pants. To those concerned, they were indeed ruined. But, Scotty, it's all good. I never would have guessed I'd have the most famous pair of pants in the country for a few weeks because of this. Take care and be safe, Brian. Just back to blue.
So weird.
Back to blue.
Really weird.
So weird.
Just I can't. This guy. I can't believe that the police department actually allowed that.
Yeah.
Because everybody wanted it to just go away. And that just, stokes the flames all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Really strange. Speaking of criminals, you know him, you love him, Harvey Weinstein. We mentioned that he may face a new indictment as prosecutors say more accusers may testify in Weinstein's retrial. So Manhattan prosecutors told the judge that they're evaluating more claims of sexual misconduct made against Harvey and would potentially seek a new indictment against him before his scheduled retrial on rape and sexual assault charges. Remember, his case in New York was overturned. The appeals court overturned it. So the assistant district attorney, Nicole Bloomberg, said that during a court hearing, the additional people have come forward with assault claims. Have they? And prosecutors are currently assessing which fall under the statute of limitations. I mean, they'll just change it again anyway, the statute of limitations law, no problem. She said some potential survivors were not ready to step forward during Weinstein's first trial, but they may now be willing to testify. We could strong-arm them maybe and get them to testify.
He's not out of jail, though, right now,
No, he is not. He's still in New York jail. He's got really bad health issues that they're addressing. And he still has the California sentence for 16 years. And California may extradite him from New York, but he's still in New York. The thing is, during the conviction in California, the jury was told that he was convicted in another state for rape. That's not true now, because it was that case was overturned, so he shouldn't have been convicted of that. So they're looking to maybe get that one overturned in California too.
Interesting. Wow.
Good luck.
All right. Let me tell you about the Eden Pure thunderstorm. They're having their famous BOGO deal on the thunderstorm air purifiers. When you buy one, you get one thunderstorm free. Buy one, get one free. BOGO.
That is awesome. Does that also include the filters? Because I usually try to get you every time.
No.
The filters.
Right. Except for there are none. There are no filters in this. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
You don't have to change any filters.
That's
you don't have
awesome.
to buy any filters.
Okay, well, good.
All you do is pull the plug out, plug it into the wall, and turn it on. It's just that easy. Then the O3 molecules take over and eliminate all of the odors and bacteria and grime in the air. Do you have grime? You probably have grime because you bring it into your house every day, I'm sure, right?
I do.
So,
Speaking of grime, last night the wife wakes me up at midnight that she smells something bad. And I was like, plug in the freaking Eden Pure.
Right.
Why
I'll
are you
take a
waking me
shower
up? She's
later.
like,
Not that hard.
I was like, dude, she's like, but didn't you smell that? I'm like, no, I don't. Plug in it's not going to work. Plug in the Eden Pure. And by the way, why did you unplug it?
Yeah.
Just leave it plugged in.
Right.
The odor went away.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
again,
I know.
wait.
It goes away
It goes
in
away.
minutes.
It is wild.
Right away. Your wife must have the supersonic smelling like mine
She
does.
did.
Oh, my gosh. I just can't
And by the
take
way,
it.
why are you waking me up at midnight?
Smell. I don't smell anything.
Thank you. Yes.
Smell. You don't.
Man, you guys need to get control of your house. I'll tell you that
we
right
do.
now.
We
got
bought
the
this
Eden Pure
Pure, so we don't hear
Eden Pure
that.
Thunderstorm. They've got great deals right now, especially during the BOGO sale. Just use the discount code PATBOGO. Pat, B-O-G-O. That's EdenPureDeals.com. Discount code PATBOGO. EdenPureDeals.com.
That gray is unleashed.
All right. Also today is the final day to get 4 delicious cookies at Kexi Cookies. The chocolate coconut, the horchata, which tastes a lot like French toast, the chocolate caramel turtle pecan, and the blueberry lemon. Last day on the blueberry lemon.
But I'm not going to miss out on my live read cash. So, I mean,
you're right. Go
they're
ahead.
simply the best cookie on the planet.
Yes.
You need to get your Father's Day order in now.
Right.
With the cookie box
Guaranteed
design.
delivery by Father's Day if you order now.
Yeah, so get it in with the the s'mores, the maple bacon, the plumber, raspberry lemonade, chocolate chip, and peanut butter in the
Such
Father's
a good
Day box. I know.
Might be the best box ever.
By the way,
really delicious.
Kexi.com, KEKSI.com.
For those of us that live in this area, is it available for me to just walk up to the store and buy a box?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is. And you'll save
and I'll save money?
There's no
What?
There's no delivery charge then. So, yeah, we can give it to you for less.
I like that.
Yeah. It's pretty
That's
pretty
sweet.
cool. Isn't that nice?
It is.
Yeah.
I'm not walking to the store, though, I'll tell you that. That's not happening. Congratulations to Carla Sofia Gascon, 52, starred in the Mexican crime musical comedy Emily Perez, a film that was lauded by critics about a man transitioning to escape vengeful criminals. The Cannes Film Festival Best Actress Award was given to a trans woman for the first time.
Oh, wow.
But
good. That's great.
Not really, though.
No?
Because the entire ensemble of the crime musical, Selena Gomez, Zoe Saldana, Carla Sofia Gascon, and Adriana Paz, the other 3 are actual females, received the Best Actress honor as well. They just jumbled them all together. And so she got kind of a, congratulations, but not really. But, Selena and I think Zoe didn't even show up for the event. So she spoke for everyone. And she gave a lengthy acceptance speech on behalf of the film's female cast. And she said to every...
and she is.
That's correct.
Oh, my God.
She said, well, look at the picture of all 4 of them. You tell me if you can pick her out of the crowd. I don't think you can. I don't think you can.
Red dress, right? Is that one?
I don't think you can.
The one in the red dress?
Hey, how you doing over there?
Do that Adam's apple
I'm
is
here
like
with my other babes, and we're
jumping
all
out.
just having a good time. Us girls hanging out over there.
I told you.
Yeah, it's the one in the red dress on the far left, right? Yeah.
I told you couldn't pick her out.
No, I can't pick her
She
out.
said that to every
Oh my
trans
gosh.
person suffering every effing day with hate, with hatred,
Oh,
they
stop
denigrate
it.
us.
Shut
this
up.
is for you. She pushed back against terrible critics, the backlash over choosing a trans performer, and told them, "Change, you bastards."
Oh, that's powerful.
I
That's
know.
powerful.
And she added that we're normal people who can have the careers we want. Being trans is unimportant. The trans person is someone going through a transition. Once they have transitioned, that's it. They are what they are. And she wanted to be a girl since she was 4 years old.
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
But after you transition, you don't. So.
Okay. So she changed her chromosomes too? Okay. All right, good.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
It's fine.
Good.
Has have they had the surgery?
Oh, yeah.
Do we know? Oh, yeah.
That's what she's saying. Yeah, that's
okay.
what she's saying. And there's not this movie. I mean, I knew about it before it was premiered at Cannes, but or Cannes or whatever the hell it is. I will not be able to get enough of the Mexican crime musical comedy. So I'm looking forward to Emily Perez.
Me too.
I know.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that.
Where is that? What's it on? I've never heard of it.
It's not out. I mean, it's
not out.
Yeah, it's being. They'll look for.
Oh, it's a Cannes.
They're looking for distributors now. Yeah,
or Kane.
Also, remember Monday, June 3rd. Well, it's also the third day of Pride. It's
LGBTQ2 plus.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Trudeau, right?
Oh, yeah, Trudeau.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trudeau.
As I was, before they got cut off by the Prime Minister, Monday, June 3rd, third day of Pride, we also have the planetary alignment Monday morning. Going to appear in the sky, that pre-dawn sky that stretches from Jupiter on the eastern end through Mercury, Uranus, Mars, Neptune to Saturn on the western end. So look up Monday morning.
Are you sure? It's up?
Yeah. Look up Monday morning, some 20 minutes before sunrise, and you should be able to see all 6 planets.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Monday,
June 3rd.
Are they gone on Tuesday?
Yes, they go away.
They all
It's
leave the solar
completely
system
just
on
burn up in
Tuesday,
the
so
sky. They get eaten by
got to
a
see them on
giant
Monday.
black hole,
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Good morning, American. It's Friday.
Welcome to it. Thanks for joining us. 888-933-93 Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Do you know we don't know what time it is on the moon?
Correct.
You aware of that?
Yes, and they just gave a bunch of money. I think I may have mentioned it in a previous Fat Five or whatever, but they just I know I talked about it on Chewing, where they just you may have it in the story where they just gave a bunch of money where they want a unified moon time.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Right. Apparently, we have to it's imperative that we find out what time it is on the moon.
Does everybody really know what time it is?
That would be my question. Anybody really care what time it is on the moon?
They do.
People do.
Yes.
And again, I don't know why, but apparently one of the mind-bending quirks of our universe is the trouble with timekeeping.
Right.
Did you know that seconds tick by ever so slightly faster on top of a mountain peak than they do in the valleys on Earth? Did you know that?
Just why we have to catch up and slow down, every forget how often. I mean, I'm sure the story has how they fix it every so often, but they make it right because we have to have it right.
Right. Yep. On the lunar surface, a single Earth day would be roughly 56 microseconds shorter than on Earth. So, I mean, it's a tiny number, obviously, but it can lead to significant inconsistencies over time.
Yeah.
And you want to be really accurate.
You have to be.
So we got to put clocks on the moon.
Is
that weird?
I wanted
That's weird.
I wanted a watch
digital.
with moon time.
Yeah.
I remember talking. I remember talking about. I want
that
the
would
moon
be
time
cool.
watch. Yeah,
that would be cool.
Yeah.
In fact, they have. I think Glenn has a watch with it's a moon watch. I don't know if it tells moon time. I don't think it does.
There is no moon time. What
Right.
are we talking
it doesn't
about? It
tell
doesn't
moon
say
time, but it has the moon.
Well, good
on
for
the face
you know
of it.
what? Good
it's
for
cool.
him. But he doesn't have
one of
one
the
with
many.
moon time because it doesn't.
One of the
exist.
17,000 super expensive watches he owns.
Was it crafted on the moon?
It was crafted, yes.
Yeah.
Neil Armstrong invented it while he was there.
Wow.
Yeah. Little known fact. And so it's kind of cool. But I guess if we put some sort of, they have the, what do they call it? It's not the Greenwich Mean Time, but the other timekeeping thing. I don't know. It's nuclear time or something. But it's super, super accurate. And that's what they want to put up on the moon to tell the time there so that you're accurate to the microsecond.
Correct. I mean, look,
interesting.
They're fighting over everything on the moon now.
Yes, because there's a space race again.
Yeah. And I mean, China is saying they want exclusionary zones.
Mm-hmm.
We want to have an area to go ahead and land and then make ours, right? So that we can make a production zone on the moon to launch other rocket ships to other planets. The fight is on.
It is.
The fight is on for that.
Who's going to get there first? Are we going to get there before? I'll get there again. By the way, we've been there 6 times. But we're going to get there again before China does, right? With a manned flight to the moon. And what we want to do now.
Yes.
Yeah. They did something cool. They went to the dark side of the moon and landed.
See, that's the thing. There's only a limited space. I heard one space expert talking. I was listening to her, and she's talking about there's a limited space where they can build and thrive, and that's why they're fighting over it.
Yeah, for a base there.
Right,
where everybody's looking to put a base on the moon right now.
Yeah,
which I don't think is ever going to happen.
Oh, really?
I don't think so.
Is that the same? You don't think
buy it.
So that we're not going to go to the Mars? We're
not going to do that either.
Even if we have coordinated lunar time,
even if
LTC,
even if we have coordinated lunar time,
they say they want it by 2026.
I know they say that. I know they've been saying that for a long time. It's just not going to happen because we got too many problems here that people are going to start screaming about. As soon as we spend the kind of money to get to the moon that needs to be spent, or to Mars that needs to be spent, you're going to hear the progressives whining and screaming and insisting that we spend our money doing something else, just like they did in 1973, that ended NASA, essentially. Ended the moon shots, anyway. We had more Apollo missions planned, and they had to scrap them.
Yeah.
They just dumped it all.
Just went away.
It just gone. Because we had all the whining. And people say, well, I think that's why I think the moon has been faked, because why haven't we been back since? Progressives, leftists, idiots, buffoons. That's why we haven't been back to the moon, because they didn't see any value in it, even though we got, 30,000 products from the moon shot and trying to get there and overcoming the obstacles that we had to overcome with the technology that was developed because of NASA. It was way worth it. It helped mankind. How do you like your GPS system? How do you like your cell phone? That's all thanks to the moonshot.
How do you like your Tang?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
More importantly,
thank you.
Tang.
The thing is, even aside from all that, and you're 100% correct, and we've covered that before, but the interview that I was listening to with this Dr. Kelly Wienersmith, I believe is her name.
I love Dr. Kelly Wienersmith.
Well, she was awesome. This interview was awesome. I'd love to talk to her.
Well, the entire Wienersmith family I find fascinating.
Kelly is top notch. Kelly is the top.
Is
the leader
maybe
of the family.
Lead Wienersmith. when
she broke down when you talk about going to Mars, right? And how difficult it would be, because now you're talking about Babies, who has them? Are you going to make sure if a baby is?
What do you mean? Who has them?
You're going to have to make sure that you send couples up. Not just man.
Oh,
or
are you talking
woman.
about to colonize Mars? Oh, that's never going to happen. We're not going to colonize. I mean, you don't have to worry about that. Don't even worry about that because it's not going to happen.
What's healthy? Who owns the land? Food, sex laws.
Pat
all
said,
of it.
"Don't worry about it."
So don't worry about it.
Like, why are you still talking? Don't worry about it.
Thank you.
He said, "Don't worry about it."
Right. It's not going to happen. So don't worry about the colonization of Mars.
I was just listening to Dr. Keller Wienersmith. That's all.
Kelly Wienersmith can relax because it's not happening. So just tell Kelly. Yeah, relax. Relax, Puddin'. All right? It's not going to happen.
Okay, whatever.
Colonize Mars. I wonder if we'll ever even get there.
I don't know. Well, we have the rocket. We do have the rocket launch supposed to happen on Saturday, tomorrow. The Boeing rocket's supposed to go up with two...
To Mars?
Going to the ISS.
Again, we're talking about Mars here.
Yeah.
No, this one isn't going to Mars.
Okay, but then why you bring it up? Again, we go back to that.
Yeah, where did Mars come from then?
Dr. Kelly Wienersmith.
No, okay.
What are we talking about?
Again, tell Kelly. Don't worry about it, Puddin'.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. It's not going to happen. There's just too many problems here on Earth.
That's for
too
sure.
many problems here on Earth.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Why do we need a time zone in the moon?
We don't.
But don't we remember
space? It connects us all.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right.
Right. Yeah, that's powerful. Of course, she's said so many powerful
She's a powerful
things.
human being.
She really is.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
No, actually, I don't think I fell out of a coconut tree.
She's just terrible.
So weird. All right, we got some tweets here from Patalakak Head, which again comes from
after I signed the PAC Act.
After I signed the PAC Act, heart attack, Patalakak Head tweets: if you're having poop dropped on you, I'm not sure heads up is a good call for a warning.
That may be a good point.
Jeffy's shirt button ricochet tweets.
That's funny, huh?
Yeah, that's funny. It is funny. It's cute, yeah. The Scheffler cop, Brian, has spent 20 years in the department and is running traffic at a golf tournament. Okay.
Well,
no, I
first
think
of all,
he was there
for
for the traffic
Yeah,
accident.
he was there for the death. And however, let me say this. Working that tournament is a good gig for them. That's off-duty money.
Oh, yeah.
So the officers that are working there, that's a good
They probably
gig.
want that gig.
Yeah.
Dr. Mr. Cheeseburger, our Constitution isn't worth the banana it was written on. From Austin Nickel, not related to anything, I do feel like today would be a great day for Pat to bring back his word of 2023, unprecedented.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with the Trump thing. We do have a lot of unprecedented comments about the unprecedented conviction of a former president of the United States of America. Got a Trump supporter speaking out about the Trump trial. Cut 5 here.
You cannot speak. You're not allowed to speak. What's the reason to have a judge? What's the reason to go to court? And I would say, even if you have an attorney cannot speak. I love you. Thank you. You can, I'm thinking it's like, what's the reason to go to court? If you can look at the judge, you can. The attorney can say nothing. The judge, you got to stay shut up. You can't talk. So why I'm going to court?
This is powerful.
I just want to.
That's powerful. I mean, that was a compelling argument he had right there.
One of the chewing the fat rules is just
Thank
because
you,
someone
Fisher.
puts a microphone in
Doesn't
front of
mean you have to speak.
Doesn't mean you have to
don't
speak.
have to speak.
I mean, I appreciate it, and I'm glad that there are people that do, but you don't have to.
You don't have to. Yeah.
But that was riveting, though.
Riveting. It was. I'm glad he did speak because he convinced me.
I might have to listen to it again to convince me.
Yeah, you do that later.
I don't want to do that.
Do that later because it was too convincing now. I don't.
For you.
Yeah, for me. Yeah. For me, I've already been convinced once. I don't want to be double convinced. There was also a New York citizen on the Trump trial.
I don't think that he had a fair chance here in New York. I think that it was rigged from the beginning. I think that this was all a setup. They just don't want him running. They're very intimidated by him. And I think at the end, he's still going to win. Because
will this help Donald Trump in the long run?
100%. I wouldn't doubt he's raising millions and millions of dollars right now.
Yeah, his website was shut down. Yeah, because of everybody trying to donate yesterday. I bet that was a huge fundraising. I'm surprised we haven't heard about it yet.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, we haven't heard about it. We know that the website was.
That's what happened.
Something
got
went
hit
wrong.
hard. Yeah.
And that 500, that doesn't mean that 500 people logged in. That's just the code.
Right. Yeah, that's the code for the error on the website.
Oh, because usually it's 404.
It is usually 404.
No, 500 people logged in.
Well, the 500 is even a bigger code than the 404.
The 404, yes. Yeah. If you know numbers, 500 is bigger than 404.
It means 96 more people hit this thing and knocked it out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So 404, I mean, that's nothing. Nobody even cares about that anymore. Right. It's the 500 that you got to worry about.
Got it. I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Also, we find out Democrats are crooked. They don't care about our institutions. Got that as well.
So you already see the fact that they are crooked. They do not care about our institutions. They just like to go on camera and say that they do. They like to give sound bites and phrases about how they say that they do. But what's really happening in America is that these crazy radical Democrats led by Joe Biden, they are getting rich on this system. They are taking advantage of the working people of America in this system. And then the media covers up for them while they give talking points about how they stand for the little guy. That is a joke. And the one president in the last 25 years, really 35 years, that has stood for the little guy is Donald J. Trump.
Put that in your pipe and smoke
no doubt.
Byron Donalds also spoke out afterwards, talking about standing behind our nominee.
Everybody's supportive of President Trump because what we are watching is just wrong. This is wrong on all levels, all counts. We went through the elements of what actually happened in this phony trial. I'm not even going to call it a trial. It's a phony trial. Went through the elements of that. But I will tell you, our party, we're going to stand behind our nominee for President, Donald J. Trump. Because, look, the man did nothing wrong here. That's the bottom line. And if you leave him out to dry or hang him out to dry because you're concerned about November, what you're going to do is speed the demise of our country. Because we are witnessing rogue elements in the legal system. Frankly, at the federal level, you know what's already happened at Maine Justice with the number 3 guy over there who left a top job in the legal profession to go be a frontline prosecutor in Lower Manhattan. That doesn't happen unless the fix is in.
Okay. I mean, if he goes to jail,
oh my gosh,
what happens? Let's say he gets 6 months. Do we have to get a new nominee? Do we have to get somebody else?
Why?
To run for president?
Why would he can still run, right?
I don't know. I guess. I don't know.
That's been we've had a.
Can he win from jail? I don't know. Probably. Based on what we've seen so far, it might help him if he went to jail.
It'd be awesome.
Plus, he'd have Secret Service protection in jail.
Correct.
So, he'd have it a little bit different than other people.
They reported that the Secret Service has already talked to the New York jailers.
Yes.
I mean, that's their job to be prepared, so it's not a surprise, but they definitely will be prepared for that.
Would you like to be the agent that spends time in jail with Donald Trump? I don't want to be that agent.
Is Trump going to be with Gen Pop? I think not.
He's good. Corn Pop, you mean? Well, yeah, he's going to be in prison with Corn
general
Pop.
Population.
Gen Pop. Okay. No, he's going to be with Corn Pop.
Been to jail before?
Oh, many times. Many times. Yeah, I fell in from way back. All right. Can your savings weather an economic storm? Think about what you've put away for the future. Inflation can render your cash worthless. Real estate can crash like it did in 2008. Economies built on a mountain of debt can fall like a house of cards. There are very few physical assets that you can invest in that really stand the test of time, but gold is definitely one of those. It's withstood the test of time, and it's been valued for millennia. And that's why people are flocking to it right now, and why Birch Gold is busier than ever. Through a little-known tax loophole, Birch Gold lets you convert a retirement account into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold. And you could do that without a penny out of your own pocket. To learn more, just text PAT to 989898. Claim your free info kit on gold. They'll send you that information. Go through it. If it's right for you, act on it. Can your savings, can your IRA or 401k weather an economic storm? If not, call the people I trust, Birch Gold. Text PAT to 989898 to secure your savings today.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Pat Gray. Join the conversation. 888-900-3393. Pat Gray Unleashed. We'll be right back.
Got some tweets here. Let's see. You don't need to be rude, Pat. Tweets. Does anybody really care about time on the moon? No, they don't.
Does anybody really know what time it is?
Does anybody really care?
Does anybody really care?
Jiggle it a little, tweets. If this government puts a clock on the moon, it'll flash 12 all the time. That'd be expensive to go fix, too.
That would.
That's
and how big is the clock going to be?
It's the entire face of the moon is going to be, and then we're just adding hands.
The
clock hands.
Awesome.
Wouldn't that be cool?
I have that on my phone.
Look up there
with
and
our
see
time.
It's a clock face now.
Yes.
That would be so cool.
I have that on my phone with our time, with the face of the moon and my clock hands on the moon. But I want it moon time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Coordinated lunar time.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Dirty Mule tweets, with all this talk about going to the moon, I'm a little concerned that it might tip over and capsize. Mr. Sean's? No, Chris, we're not going to the Mars. Did you say the Mars? We're going
How
to
else
the Mars?
would you say? If you're going to the moon,
yeah,
you're going to the Earth.
Yeah,
you're going to
the
Mars.
Mars.
Going to the Mars.
The Mars.
Same thing.
Thank you.
No, it's not.
It is, though.
Caffeinated Texan, far side, not dark side. No, the moon? No, it is the dark side because the sun never shines there. It's dark all the time. Mm-hmm. Same side faces the sun all the time.
Let me ask you a question, Pat.
Yeah.
Are we sure that the moon and the sun are
not the same
entities?
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
I used to think.
I didn't know, and this is true.
And it's true.
I didn't know until I was 40 years old that
40.
the sun and the moon were not the same thing.
See, she's saying that they're not the same.
They're not the same thing. Yeah, she found out 9 years ago. Chelsea Handler, 49 years old. She didn't know till she was 40 that the sun and the moon were not the same thing.
Yeah, she just admitted to being all hot for
Robert De Niro. Yeah.
I wonder if she thought it was like a guy with a light switch. Turn it off. Oh, there's your moon. Turn it on.
It's
there's
so
your sun.
weird.
It's really weird.
Or was it a clap on?
So weird. Let's see. From Kenneth Parker. We got rid of NASA, and now we have the scientific work of Terrence Howard. Yeah, from last week.
Right.
Ooh,
some
genius.
Powerful, genius stuff. The Honorable I'm a Lickin' Butter. The most important thing we got from the Apollo project, adult diapers. Did we get that from NASA? I don't know about that.
I thought
really?
it was NASCAR.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I thought it was NASCAR.
I thought it was NASCAR. Yeah, you're right. I thought it was NASCAR.
Because of that whole girl with remember the whole diaper thing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The astronaut girl.
The astronaut
that
girl.
went crazy.
Yeah.
In Florida.
Yeah,
and drove
to
across
Houston.
country, like from Oklahoma to Florida.
Yeah.
And she was busted with the boxes of adult diapers, so she didn't have to stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe it was NASA.
That was NASA.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't NASCAR.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So why would it be NASCAR?
You spend 4 hours driving.
I was going to say, can you drive 500 laps without going to the bathroom?
Easy.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they're going really fast, so
so you're good.
Takes what, 10 minutes, 15 tops?
Silly.
Yeah, I think I could hold it.
Maybe
I
3.
think I could. All right, we got to get through some more of these Trump supporters and some Trump detractors, I believe. Here, former attorney Guy Lewis talked about how the verdict was offensive to the Constitution yesterday.
It doesn't matter whether you love or hate Donald Trump. What happened today was offensive to the Constitution.
Yep.
Every single American who loves this country, who loves this government, who loves our founding document, which was passed, by the way, not to restrain Americans, the individual. It was passed to restrain the government.
Right.
To keep the government from acting out of bounds.
Yes.
And boy, oh boy, when you look at this, when you take a step back and try to absorb this, how can you not say that this is way, way out of bounds? God, help
Guy,
us.
with
God help us.
Yep. And he's right about that. The Constitution is a charter of negative liberties. It's what the government can't do to you. Because you can't name all of the liberties we should have. It's impossible. So if you try to make it a positive charter, then you're going to forget a lot of stuff, and you're not going to have the liberty we have today. So, yeah, these are things that the government shouldn't be doing to its citizens, and certainly not to our former president. Also, a U.S. Marine veteran spoke out about it.
What's your name? Where are you from? And what do you make of this?
Dwight Silva out of Chicago. I happen to be here for work. And I'll just tell you, this is an absolute disgrace. I served 8 years in the United States Marine Corps. And one of the things that we really appreciate about America is that we have a fair and justice system. I mean, you come to see something like this where people don't even understand the gravity of what they're doing. It's a sad, feel a lot of sadness around here because people are disappointed and they can't trust the justice system. That's why people come to America, for that, the cornerstone of freedom.
That's great. Well-spoken guy.
No kidding.
Good stuff there. Nice to see with somebody wearing the red cap. I like that. Somebody who knows what they're talking about and says it well. That helps. That's very helpful. All right, 888-933-93. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Cory Gardner banned birth control. This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
You believe it's already May 31st? Tomorrow's the first day of June. We're exactly 90 days away from the start of BYU football. I know everybody's psyched about that.
Heck yeah.
Right?
I mean, week 0 is the week before that, right? So we did get some games before then. Yeah, the 24th.
Do they start the 24th?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Because BYU plays the Southern Illinois Salukis on the 31st. So everybody knows when the Cougars and Salukis get together on the football field, you can throw out all the records.
Oh, okay.
You throw out all.
Because I was digging through
the records. Yeah, don't even bother digging through the records. Throw them out because that Cougar-Saluki matchup, so unpredictable.
This will be my first time watching a BYU game.
Oh, you're going to watch it?
Because of Noah, the guy that got from Haslett.
Oh, yeah, Noah Lugo.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
yeah. He probably won't play. You know that, right? He's going to be a freshman. And
he asked me if I could watch
the
game, and I was like, sure, buddy, I'll watch the game.
You did? He did ask you that?
Yeah.
Really?
I was like, okay,
all right. Yeah.
I got you.
Keep an eye out. You might get a glimpse of him on the sideline.
I don't even know where I'm looking,
Yeah.
so I was like, oh, yeah, I saw you.
You better get yourself ESPN Plus because when the Cougars and Salukis get together, it's only on the internet.
Probably not going to be.
It's not going to be. Yeah, it's not going to be a primetime game. So yeah, get
Plus,
yourself
I would
ESPN
go ahead.
Plus.
I would go ahead and set that DVR right now as well because once you get that, that camera passing the sideline and there's your boy,
I think
you're
it's
going to want
number
to
9.
rewind it and go. There he is.
There he
Number
is.
9, Noah Lugo.
There's Noah Lugo.
There it is.
From Haslett, Texas. That's cool. That'll be great.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yeah. There's some crazy times at BYU basketball, too. They just got 2 commits from 2 4-star athletes and 1 5-star athlete. And now...
That's awesome. The new coach is bringing them in.
He's bringing them in like crazy.
NBA pipeline to the NBA, baby. And NIL. What are we doing NIL?
Yeah, NIL. Well, supposedly, word is that with this 5-star kid from Russia, they're paying him $2 million.
Oh, that's right. We talked about that
NIL.
the other day. Right.
That's the word.
$2 million.
And I believe it. They've got a big booster. The guy who owns the Utah Jazz, Ryan Smith, is a graduate from BYU and a huge supporter. And he said anything they need, they're going to get period.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So,
he's been pushing for hockey there, too. So I don't know if that's going to happen or not.
He's already bringing. He bought an NHL team. Yeah, they won't say which one it is, but he bought an NHL team, and he's bringing that to Salt Lake City.
To bring that to Salt Lake. Yeah.
So he's got Jazz, NHL, Major League Soccer, and is it WNBA? Yeah, it's a women's soccer. So men's and women's soccer.
Okay.
Basketball,
NHL.
NHL.
There yet.
No, there isn't yet. But they're thinking about that too.
I mean,
and Major League Baseball.
Happen,
yeah. A lot of stuff going on there.
Major League Baseball. Stop it.
Why can't they have Major League Baseball?
Nobody's going.
What?
Baseball's done.
Baseball's done. Jeff, okay,
over.
Shut it down, MLB. Jeff Fisher has declared
over.
Baseball over. So
just play the.
Shut it down. Just shut it down.
You don't need to stop with the 185,000 games a year.
It's 162.
Stop with that.
And I love baseball.
And we just
integrated
the new record books. They're screwing that up now.
What they need to do.
Did you see that?
No.
Okay.
What are they integrating?
They took the Negro Leagues now.
Okay.
And all those records that may or may not be true. They looked at newspaper articles, a commentary, and some kind of record books, and they put all those into the Hall of Fame now. So there's new record holders for different sections from the Negro League now. So it couldn't just be a separate. Hey, the Negro League was great, which it was. Mm-hmm. And yes, we've already agreed it was terrible. And
that they weren't included in the major leagues,
But now we're just going to, okay, those records too, they count.
Oh, wow.
They count.
I did not see that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. Are they also going to allow people into the Baseball Hall of Fame who are rumored to have been on steroids? But never proven.
Doesn't look like
Barry Bonds. It's time for Barry Bonds.
I agree.
To get into the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame.
Agree.
The guy has the record of all time for home runs in a career, in a season. He's got every stinking record existing to mankind. He was a lifetime, 320, 330 hitter. What did he hit, that guy? I mean, and he's not in the Hall of Fame. Roger Clemens, same thing, except pitching, not hitting.
Right.
Roger Clemens needs to be in the Hall of Fame. And these guys were never proven to be on steroids. It's crazy.
I know.
It's crazy.
I was looking to have the story, and I can't find it, of course, but about the MLB.
On the Negro Leagues?
Negro Leagues, yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting.
By the way, I got tickets to the, what is a baseball team? The Rangers versus the New York Mets.
Yeah.
If you want to go with me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why did you, you don't like sports. Why?
Yeah, what's the sudden interest?
Yeah.
I'm trying to enlighten myself with you guys keep talking sports. I'm giving it a try because of you guys.
Oh, okay. Well, good. So, your wife's not going to go?
Oh, no.
No?
This is not.
Oh, okay. She doesn't. Yeah, mine wouldn't want to go either.
No.
No.
I'm taking the boys, and I got extra tickets if you're interested.
When is it?
So that's the deal. He's just trying to.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking of Pat because he still hasn't told me when we're going to watch, what is it? Foreigner and the Sticks?
Foreigner and the Sticks. Yeah, when
it's
are
not
we?
Foreigner and the Sticks. It's Foreigner and Sticks.
And they're not playing on the Mars.
No, they're not. No.
So, June 19th.
June 19th.
Mets and Rangers.
Okay. June 19th.
Yeah.
I'll see if I'm booked that day or not. I'll have to check my schedule, but thank you for the invite. That's
what about
nice.
the Sticks?
That's
and,
nice.
Sticks
the
and
Sticks
Foreigners.
and Stones? I don't know. That'd be a great. Would that be a cool concert? Sticks and the Rolling Stones, the Sticks and Stones tour.
That's a good one.
That'll never happen, but it would be cool.
Like Jeffy says, you're welcome.
You're welcome. I also saw Def Leppard, Journey, and the Steve Miller Band are going to be in town. That's a pretty good bill right there, too.
That is.
They're playing at Globe Life, so they're playing the baseball field.
I just heard that Joe is going to be there. Thank you for the invite, Joe.
No,
appreciate you.
Yeah. Is he taking all of us?
Are you taking all of us, Joe? Oh, he said the tickets are there. You just have to say that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They're there. Just say, hey, I'm here. Joe left me some tickets. And they'll let you right in.
No, okay. I'll try that because I'm sure he got us all tickets. All right. So I guess, has the Trump campaign already turned the verdict into
the MAGA PAC decided,
an ad?
Yes, decided to turn it to an ad.
Okay.
Here's clip 22.
Mm-hmm. And it goes a little something like this.
Thank you for joining us here today. Earlier this afternoon, Donald Trump was arraigned by a Manhattan grand jury on 34 felony counts.
This case is an abomination. It's obviously political. 7 years to try to come up with this case. They're just wrong on the law.
The only crime that Donald Trump is being prosecuted for is the crime of running for president.
Political persecution at the highest level.
They've quite frankly given up on trying to beat him at the polls. Either going to steal it or stop it by law firm.
A Democrat prosecutor elected on a Get Trump platform.
What's going on here is a disgusting disgrace. It is war on Trump, it is war on the Republican Party, and it is a war on the Republic.
This case is the weakest case I've seen in 60 years of teaching, practicing, and writing about criminal law.
I doubt the New York indictment would have been brought against a defendant whose name was not Donald Trump.
This judge, you don't need a prosecutor if you have a judge like this. This judge is not on the level.
It's a terrible case, but the judge has been pretty much a rubber stamp on everything that Bragg has wanted to do.
They're perverting the system of justice. That's where the danger lies. The corruption and subversion of our institutions by the left.
This is the Democrats' entire strategy, to confine President Trump to a dirty criminal courtroom and keep him off the campaign trail where he can bring his winning message to voters across this country.
New York has become a legal banana republic. They are so determined to get Donald Trump.
Look, convicting Donald Trump, that's all they have.
I think they have no cards, and they're depending upon Trump getting convicted.
That Trump train doesn't show any signs of slowing down.
The only verdict that matters is the verdict at the ballot box.
Wow. True.
Yeah.
True that. If you will.
That's why the website broke.
Good stuff. Matt Kibbing's about to join us to talk about the release of The Cover-Up. It's a docuseries available now on Blaze TV. The trustworthiness of Dr. Anthony Fauci has been up for debate for a long time. I think you and I know that despite the media's campaign to defend his character, there's a lot of suspicious stuff going on behind the scenes. We know that they lied about COVID. We know that statistics were inflated, and we know Fauci is tied into it all. So Matt joins us right now. Matt, welcome. Haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing?
Yeah, it's good to be in the Pat cave.
Might want to turn on his microphone there.
He's good.
Chris, there we go. All right. Hi.
He would do that to me, right?
Yes.
You expect that kind of behavior.
Of course he would. Yeah, exactly.
But I'm in the Pat cave, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, this is it's like my parents' basement, and we call it home. Yeah. So for those of us who have come to the conclusion that there's not going to be any justice done with Anthony Fauci and the COVID cover-up and everything he did, give us reason to think it might be different this time. Is there any reason to think that?
I think so. The House committee investigating this has finally started finding documents that show that Fauci's consigliere was explicitly deleting emails, avoiding FOIA requests, gaming the system, working with the so-called FOIA lady at NIH to figure out how to cover this stuff up. But in the midst of all this, he's bragging about how he's covering up, and they have that email. I'm like, this is a smoking gun.
Wow.
The former head of NIH finally admitted that, of course, we were doing gain-of-function research. Fauci testifies on Monday in front of that committee publicly for the first time. So I think so, but I also think that there's so much that we don't know yet, which is the point of this series. Like, I've never quite comprehended this oversized, insanely, almost militaristic response to COVID. It's unprecedented in American history, an unprecedented power grab. So my point is, they're still doing all this stuff, and Rand Paul is basically my collaborator on this, and he's sort of the pit bull that won't let this go. But if we don't get to the bottom of this, it's going to get worse. Everything
it's going to happen again
in 2020 is going to be supersized.
Yeah.
And I'm obsessed. I'm not going to let it go. Rand Paul's not going to let it go. I know Glenn's not going to let it go. People that remember what happened need to figure out a way that they can get their neighbors engaged in the real cover-up.
Yeah, because like you said, it's not over. I mean, COVID might be over, at least the initial panic of that, but they could easily bring that back again. They're already preparing us for bird flu. Monkeypox. I mean, who knows what the next big thing will be, but they'll use all of that against us.
This pandemic treaty that they're trying to jam through, the Biden administration is huge advocates of it.
Right.
That is a blank check to give away any semblance of governance, independence, autonomy that Americans have.
Yeah. And give it to the WHO.
Right.
Which I think they'd love to do, but hopefully the Congress won't allow them to do that.
I hope that's true. I see where now. So for Blaze TV subscribers, episode 1 has been dropped, right?
Yes.
Dissident. That leads me to believe that there are multiple episodes.
There are. It's funny because the idea of this is that we don't have all the answers. It's an investigative series. It's kind of a whodunit true crime thing, and I'm going to ask the audience to tell me where I need to go. So there are absolutely more episodes. I've already got one almost finished with Rand Paul. I did one with Scott Atlas, who tells me some pretty shocking things about what happened inside the White House in 2020. But I'm going to talk to people that know things that we don't know because they've dug deeper. So there's this citizen organization on X called Drastic, and it's just a bunch of really smart people that know how to go deep, deep, deep into the internet to find documents that the government doesn't want you to see. So this is an open-ended process, and if people are into it, I want them to actually participate. Like, excellent. What am I missing?
Excellent.
So you mentioned that there are things that went on in the White House that are shocking in 2020. So that includes Trump?
Yes. Well, I mean, it's his White House. Yes.
Yes. He's not. We can't exonerate him from the COVID nonsense, can we?
I'll give you a little teaser of where Scott Atlas is coming from, because he was brought in by people that were worried about Fauci and Birx and this cabal of bureaucrats that had sort of isolated Trump from other voices. And Scott came in and was that dissident voice. I mean, he was absolutely misserved by Fauci, Birx, and that cabal.
Yeah.
And you remember his instincts were actually right. The first thing he blurted out was,
yes.
He's like, we can't do that. That's insane.
Right. And then he did kind of cave and said, okay, 15 days to flatten the curve. But that turned into much more than that.
We talked about that the other day, which, I mean, really, okay, so aside from, hey, the 15 days to flatten the curve was a nightmare, should have never happened, we were all kind of okay with it. All right, fine, this horrible thing is coming. We don't know what it is. Well, it takes 15 days. We're willing to, shut our doors and hold out for 15 days. But then he didn't go with his gut, and I wish he would come out
and just admit it. I think
should have gone with my gut.
Well served to admit to a mistake there, but I don't think he ever will.
I don't think he's obviously capable of such a thing. But I mean, he should come out and say, I got screwed by Fauci and Birx. They lied to me.
Yes, that should have happened a long time ago.
Right. And I honestly, he's having problems with RFK because RFK is saying that stuff.
Yeah.
And he's not even specifically blaming Trump. He's just exposing this entire thing. And I think as we dig into this, we're going to discover that, and this is my question, like, well, who is Fauci's boss? We all focus on Fauci. We want accountability for this guy. He's clearly lying to the American people. He's lying to Congress. He's in my mind a criminal, but he's not the top of the food chain. And I want to get to the alphabet agencies that are still funding gain-of-function research, are still doing these mad science experiments in the name of biosecurity.
Yeah.
We're still doing it.
Well, Fauci's pretty much now. While I don't think he ever came out. And you can obviously comment on this more than I, but I don't think he ever came out and actually admitted the gain of function. Right? They called it a different name, and it was gain of function. But since he called it a different name, it meant that it wasn't gain of function.
He adamantly denies that he's doing gain of function. even though everyone around him is now admitting.
Correct.
Well, of course we were.
Now, gain of function seems like the dumbest thing you could possibly do.
Are you a scientist now?
I'm not a
you
scientist.
a scientist
I just
now,
play one on the radio. And it seems like insanity to most of us, I think. Why? What is the reasoning they give us? Are they creating viruses that could spread like wildfire through the human population just so that they can come up with cures for the virus? Is that the excuse? What is the excuse they use to do this?
That's why this is not a public health thing. It is a national security thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's a biosecurity strategy where it is absolutely mad science. It's insane hubris. It's a fatal conceit that they have, that they can somehow control nature, manipulate nature. They're going to go into the caves. It's I call it scientism, but their idea is we're going to map every potential thing that could wipe us out, and then we're going to manipulate them and make them even more weaponized, and then we're going to come up with a vaccine. We're going to come up with a cure, and it is an impossible task.
Yeah,
but more importantly, like so insanely dangerous they could wipe out the planet. You know that thing. I feel that matters.
You think it does? Really? Huh.
I mean, and maybe I'm a Luddite, but I'm still there, you know?
We just read, we had a story last week that they were trying to do gain of function with bird flu to where they could make it go human to human instead of animal to human now. I mean, why in the hell would you want to do that?
That is what gain of function is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the problem is, and this is part of our series, exposing when Fauci became the head of this biosecurity strategy around 2001, he immediately controlled all the money. And so if you want research grants, if your university receives a lot of money, as many of these universities do, you gotta kiss the ring. You got to do what they say. This is how he was able to manipulate the scientific narrative about COVID. They all were either receiving or were about to receive big checks from NIH,
and that was part of his deal, right? With the gain of function, is that while he wasn't doing it, he was giving it to other science people that he knew were doing gain of function work.
Sometime during the Obama administration, actual scientists said, "This sounds insane. We should stop doing this," and there was a prohibition on gain of function research. So what did they do? In the name of biosecurity, they started doing this in China instead. Riddle me that.
Unbelievable.
I can't really comprehend the mindset here.
And then they act like it's total conspiracy insanity to imply that it came from the lab rather than, I don't know, bat stew or whatever they claimed in the Wuhan market.
Soup.
Unbelievable. Soup. Was it soup and not stew? Yeah, big difference there.
Thank God for the Blaze, because I'm not sure this series would even stay on YouTube. I think they'll take it down to this day.
Probably.
We'll find out at some point, but people have to get to the truth, because it's both a threat to our prosperity, it's a threat to the human existence, and all of the liberties we lost. I've been fighting against big government tyranny my entire life. This fight,
how's that
to
working
me,
out?
How's that working? I thought I was fighting a normal fight, and then lockdowns happen. I'm like, all right,
I know.
They're playing a different game than I am.
Yeah.
It's insane. It literally is insane.
Didn't see that one coming.
But I'm running up this hill, and I think a lot of folks in the Blaze community have been here this whole time. And I'm not only gonna try to show them some new things, try to pull a Glenn Beck. I'm a Beckite now, where I pull all these crazy strings together to show that thing that they were telling you was a conspiracy is exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Are you going to spend any time with the vaccine as well, or stick to the virus itself?
I think I have to, because it's about money, and it's about this biosecurity thing. And I'm seeing, I got to get to the bottom of this, but I'm seeing that there are now studies showing that they were manipulating data even beyond what we expected.
Yeah.
Wow.
And think about what happens when people discover that they couldn't say goodbye to their dying grandfather, that they had to give up their job,
Yeah.
And now that they did what they were told, they distanced, they masked, they triple vaxxed.
Yep.
And
we're lied to about all that.
It might be
too.
dangerous, right?
Yeah.
It might be horribly dangerous.
And we were told it's perfectly fine, perfectly safe, and perfectly effective.
And we're supposed to forget all that.
And yes. And little by little, some truth has trickled in, both about the virus and the statistics and all the things we were told, and now about the vaccine. And we're starting to hear all these things, and people are going to be really pissed when all of this comes out.
Yeah.
Really pissed. Matt, thanks for the great work you're doing.
Thank you.
When do we expect the next episode? First one's playing right now.
Well, the hope is once a month.
Okay.
And we'll see how it goes. I really want people to check this out, and I really want their feedback. And the more enthusiasm, the more we can get done.
BlazeTV.com, right?
Yep.
Matt Kibbe, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. We will see you on Overtime, and, of course, back here Monday. See you then.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.